The National Conversation on Asia is a broad initiative sponsored by the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada to get Canadians to think about what Asia means to Canada. A part of that discussion created the Asian Competence Task Force, who commissioned this report, Canada's Asia Challenge, Creating Competence for the Next Generation of Canadians. This report has been reviewed by Victoria's Secret, and this video is to supplement their executive summary. In recent years, the world is starting to notice Asia in a new light. Asia is flexing its muscles on the world stage as a growing economic power. They want to say about the environment, politics, healthcare, and the economy. Their decisions are affecting the world, and the world needs to be ready. When queried, 2/3 of Canadians feel that Asian economies are vital to Canada. It isn't hard to see why. By 2020, it is likely that China will surpass the US as the world's largest economy. By 2050, Asian countries are expected to represent 50% or more of the world's GDP. Furthermore, Asian countries provide Canada with more international students than other countries. They also represent the majority of our immigration. The task force found, however, that even though Canadians think Asia is important, it was hard to find people with the needed skills to interface with Asia. In short, there is a lack of Asian competence. So what is Asian competence? While it is easy for Canadians to recognize cultural norms and important facts about Europe and North America, it is sometimes harder for them to recognize similar items within Asian cultures. At its most basic level, competence is a broad knowledge of the history, geography, culture, and traditions of Asia. The task force further defines Asian competence in 3 levels. Exposure to Asia represents a general familiarity that allows you to interface with Asian countries. Experience in Asia represents real-world activity you have completed in Asian countries. And expertise in Asia represents significant effort spent mastering Asian knowledge for business or similar activities. This rating is actually very similar to what other countries are considering Asian competence. What are other countries doing? Australia has had a strong program for decades. The Australian White Paper is considered a powerful framework for national development of Asian skills. The National Centre breaks skills down beyond literacy to organizational and individual skill sets. Australia also mobilizes the private sector and urges them to have their top executives vetted for Asian skill sets. In the United States, President Obama has formed the 100,000 Strong Foundation, a group whose mandate is to send 100,000 Americans abroad to strengthen the US-China relations. To aid in that task, the foundation has a number of training and development programs. The Asia Foundation has a much broader mandate of developing business and education links to Asian countries and maintains schools in New York for that purpose. Europe has also recognized the importance of Asia. Specifically in Germany and France, they have a successful system of adding Asian studies to the regular curriculum. France in particular is a popular Chinese destination, and there is a great need to develop Chinese skills there. So you might wonder, how is Canada doing? The APF discovered that among Asian practitioners, the results are dim. They have a great deal of difficulty filling positions due to their inability to find any level of Asian competence. They feel that it is a critical failing in Canada and believe that immediate priority must be given to increasing Asian competence. The APF discovered that since schools are managed at a provincial level, there are few homogeneous programs across the country. This has led to inconsistent Asian skill development and few, if any, best practices recorded. The good news is that the study showed that Canadians are more in favor of having greater Asian education in schools. There are pockets of excellence in Canada. Vancouver, Toronto, and Edmonton were all highlighted as having strong Asian development programs. Using existing systems like the Confucius Institute, they have increased Canada's overall Asian competence. The Confucius system is an outgrowth of the Hanban, a Chinese-based Ministry of Education program that aims to develop Chinese skills internationally. However, even with this support, language and cultural training is on demand, creating a struggle for funding in many provinces. There are a lot of programs for students to take advantage of, including studies abroad. However, participation is low, either due to poor marketing efforts or a lack of encouragement towards the value of an education in Asian countries. The APF recommends that schools begin sharing course modules so best practices can be tested and developed. At the university level, post-secondary schools should promote themselves to the private sector as centers of excellence. In the private sector, companies and businesses should be engaged to support Asian placements, scholarships, and development programs. Moreover, the private sector should be encouraged to develop Asian competence among board members and to make Asian competence a criteria among new hire selection. At the provincial level, Canada needs to set targets for language skills, create scholarships, and start sending the Ministry of Education abroad to help develop opportunities for international education. At the federal level, the main driver should be to create opportunities for youth abroad, in embassies or internships with Asian-based Canadian firms. In conclusion, how Asian competent are you? How do you feel it will affect your future? And more importantly, how will you join the conversation? On behalf of Victoria's Secret, thank you very much.